but this is the landing area. There's a handful up there. That comes through okay on video. Very popular spot. Almost any nice day, you can see a handful of paragliders having fun up there. All right, going to take a little bit longer ride today. Going to look at the greater Eastside, which is generally anything beyond Issaquah. So, worth considering when you're looking at moving to King County. You've got the typical Seattle, Bellevue, Renton, but if you look a little further east, you've got the potential for more bang for your buck, easier access to nature, and generally good schools and safe cities. So definitely worth looking at. We're going to start out in North Bend, take a quick walk through the Old Town area, famous for its ties to Twin Peaks TV show back in the day. Some of that is kind of tied in with Snoqualmie as well, another neat old city. And then we'll continue on, pass through Fall City, pass through the outskirts of Sammamish on our way into Issaquah. Once we get to Issaquah, we'll probably go look for a troll. If you're not familiar with those, that's worth checking out. That's something fun to do in the area here. And then continuing south, we'll be keeping an eye out for paragliders off of Poo Poo Point. Typically see some of those out there. And continue on the back roads back down to Maple Valley. And then Maple Valley, we'll take a quick look at Lake Wilderness. So let's go take a look. All right, and away we go. All right, pulling onto North Bend Way on our way out of North Bend. The old section of town here. Got the cafe from Twin Peaks over there. Fun old theater over onto the right side. Back to the left there over the train tracks, you would connect over to where the outlet mall is. Access to Interstate 90, which should take you back over to Seattle or over the mountains into central and eastern Washington. Right now, we're heading out on back road to take us over to Snoqualmie. Today we're going to just stick to the old town of Snoqualmie. Up on the hill there is development, the Snoqualmie Bridge, a lot of housing options. The city of Snoqualmie itself has a mixed range of older houses that don't come on the market as often, but certainly some choices there if you want to have the time to look. Here you get kind of a look at nice open park area. A couple similar parks along this road. Here to play, go on a walk. There's a couple of ways to connect over to Snoqualmie. The road we're on here will continue on and connect to Interstate 90 and also take you to the Snoqualmie Casino. Spare you some of the slogans, but a nice resource to have for dinner options and occasional shows that will be hosted there. But we are going to turn off and head over towards Snoqualmie before we get to that area, but just around the corner up there off of a roundabout. One of the fun things with North Bend and Snoqualmie is the historic trains. Both kind of lean into that history. Have historic trains you can hop on and take a ride. And the one at Snoqualmie is actually accessed via the Railroad Museum. And they have special events where around Christmas time you can ride, kids can meet Santa, and it's always something they enjoy. And then certain times of the year they'll also have a train kind of set up as Thomas the Train, and so it's kind of fun for them as well. Just ride an old-fashioned train. So fun thing to do, even if you don't end up out this way. It's a pretty short trip to come check it out. Alright, so again, this is another main road here connecting North Bend and Snoqualmie. Similar distance back to North Bend from this point. Straight ahead is their high school. And a little further past that, there's some nice river access over near the base of Mount Si. Some good blueberry picking during the right season. Always make a point to get out there. And also down that direction is Dirtfish Rally School. And they also hold rallycross races out there. So typically get out there at least once a year and do a rallycross race. So another fun thing to do here. If that's something you're interested in, you can usually go spectate for free and do a ride along. Alright, so we're officially entering Snoqualmie. So it's another kind of historic railroad and probably logging town, but mostly exists as shops and restaurants, and as I mentioned, the train museum. And they're also playing into the Twin Peaks theme. Haven't watched the show for a while, but imagine there's some content filmed here as well. It's another tie-in with Dirtfish is the building there, which I believe was like a mill office, also served as the sheriff's office for the TV show. Alright, here comes one of the trains again. You can see this is definitely an attraction on a nice Sunday like today. And there's another street running parallel to this one with a few more shots. As well as up to the road to the right up here, some more parking, and a nice riverside park you can go eat at, or you can hop in the river real quick if it's a warm day. And over to the left, we've got the Snoqualmie Railroad Museum. So to the right's the park I mentioned. Well, some extra parking. You don't necessarily have to Fight for downtown parking there. Alright, and that was pretty much the town. And then depending on the season, sometimes the train will head this direction. On the left side over here, we can see they've got a number of other future projects and a collection of trains here. And we have another location where they restore and work on them. Alright, so to the left here, you would be able to head up the hill and would connect with the Snoqualmie Highlands. That's a planned development with, ranging from condos up to multi-million-dollar homes on the golf course, along with some additional shopping, hotel, and easier access to Interstate 90. Some other content covering that, so it will stick to our adventure today. Alright, over to the left there, you can see where Snoqualmie Falls drops off. Speaking of Snoqualmie Falls, over here on the left is the lodge and observation area. Park on the right side and then walk over on the bridge. Pretty busy today, so I think we'll just pass by, but it's definitely a worthwhile thing to see, and it's going to be on almost all of your what to see in Washington lists. There's also a trail you can hike down to the bottom, which is also pretty interesting. Has some old power generation equipment down there, so definitely a worthwhile thing to check out. And with that, we are on our way to Falls City. City's another neat little old town. Has some good access to the river. Pretty popular spot for accessing, for flooding the river. Has a complex where you can rent equipment. Kind of similarly to old Snoqualmie, there's kind of a stock of older houses. Not a lot of common availability, so it's something to watch, but you'll be limited on your options to be looking for a house there. But definitely a nice set of roads here to take the back way and just check out some of this nature. Small farms out here. Find a farm side stand, pick up some flowers or eggs, vegetables. Back to the right there is where you would find the floating rental. like nobody's quite braving it yet. To the left here, get out to Interstate 90. But here is the town of Falls City. A beautiful town with a variety of shops, restaurants. And that nice river. Really pretty area of the state. Good sized library. Alright, so that was Falls City. We're going to continue on our way towards Issaquah. Kind of pass through a corner of Sammamish. Another great place to consider, but definitely going to be a little on the higher price side. But, there's definitely more efficient ways to get between some of these cities using Interstate 90, but we're on a motorcycle, so we're doing it the fun way. Taking some of the back roads, seeing a little more of the sights. Technically in Sammamish here. We're going to be kind of just passing through the outskirts and some of the residential areas. Definitely a nice area. Quite fit the criteria of smaller locations, but definitely a great area to consider. We're going to pass through the Highlands, just to look at that. One of the few areas out this direction that has a theater, so definitely good to be aware of. This has a pretty significant park and ride. From down below, you'll be able to see all these houses kind of tacked onto the side of the hill up here. But it also continues up the hill to the left quite a ways. Theater over to the left. Safeway, good variety of shopping. So nice to know this is up here. And then also has a hospital over to the right beyond. Lots of choices here. Really not one of the cheapest places, but very convenient to Interstate 90 and safe area, good schools, and convenience with all the different shopping options that they have, both up there and then down the hill here in the main city of Issaquah. Today we're just going to kind of focus on a look at the old town Issaquah. But beyond to the west is a fair amount of kind of strip retail, national retail shops. Across here. And right here to the right is your access to Interstate 90. Right, take you into Bellevue or Seattle. To the left here, take you back to North Bend or Snoqualmie. And beyond to skiing and Central Washington and Eastern Washington. So, in addition to the resources for shopping services, Issaquah's a neat little town. Dimension's got an older section of town. It also has a fish hatchery, and they do a salmon days, and you can see the salmon coming through and spawning in the river. Also tours of the salmon hatchery. A lot of the different schools around here will have field trips to check that out. We'll be back to the left here to head to Maple Valley ultimately, but take a peek through Old Town here. Similar to the others, pretty brief, but all in pretty good shape and geared for weekend visitors and convenience for locals. Definitely worth checking out. Lots of nice hills around here. I'm kind of passing through the middle of them. And straight ahead, I don't see any paragliders yet, but keeping an eye out. Imagine there'll be some when we get closer. Oh, there's at least two of them up there. You can see the clearing on the top of the mountain ahead. That is Poo Poo Point. Very popular hiking trail and launching point for the paragliders. It's a fun one for kids to say, but apparently the story is back in the logging days, they had a whistle to let them know when it was time to pull down the logs, and that was the sound it made. Nice little valley here with hills on both sides. Nice park to the right. That congested sign. Nice days like today, during the prime time of the day, you're going to have a pretty hard time finding parking if you wanted to go to check out Poo Poo Point. A lot of houses around here that offer parking. They had a clearing there, you can see it's the official parking, pretty limited, so a lot of people park on the road or at some of these private lots. But this is the landing area. There's a handful up there. That comes through okay on video. Very popular spot. Almost any nice day you can see a handful of paragliders having fun up there. So living in Maple Valley, we'll quite often head into Issaquah for shopping, and this is most of the time the road that we use. Pretty popular road. Typically flows pretty well. Rush hour, you might find that it's a little backed up. And so coming up here, you're going to have a choice of different ways to get to Maple Valley. You take Cedar Grove Road, which will connect down to Highway 169, which will also head over to Renton and connect 405. Or straight ahead, as we're going to do, you then ultimately have the choice of Highway 18, which can take you to Auburn, or back to Interstate 90 and North Bend and beyond, or to continue through the back way through Hobart and into the backside of Maple Valley, which is what we're going to do today. Passing under Highway 18 on our way into the Hobart area, which is kind of an extension of Maple Valley. So this would feed into Maple Valley School District, the Hobart School District, even parts of Issaquah and Renton that do as well. Maybe even some of Kent, maybe even some Black Diamond, but primarily it serves Maple Valley proper. This is kind of the extent of Hobart proper, aside from the extended properties. Convenience store. Office. Access to the trail system and the river. And right here, right here, we've got one of the two middle schools in the Tahoma School District. With that, we are pretty close to town. We are coming into Maple Valley at this point. To the left, there is Ravensdale, a very small little town. It's going to be more of the larger lots, another convenience store, and a few smaller kind of residential areas, but largely larger lots. And so we're 516 here, and straight ahead would be Covington, which is a larger town right by Highway 18. Has some additional shopping, Costco, Walmart, Home Depot. Here in town we've got a Fred Meyer Kroger brand over to the right, kind of a general purpose along with grocery. And we've got a Safeway, Albertsons family over to the left. Got a couple other videos giving a full tour from both the north and south direction through town. The town is broken up into kind of the north and south section. I pass through the short direction here and go take a quick look and end at Lake Wilderness. Nice park on Lake Wilderness, and connect to it on the Cedar River Trail, which connects through a lot of the neighborhoods here, both north and south. and even continues on all the way into Renton. Nice trail system. Off beyond to the left is the high school, one high school for the Hobart School District. We're currently the largest in the state. Can't see too much of it, but we got the sports facilities over here. And road work, extending the sidewalk. Been a fair amount of road work lately. Multiple new roundabouts and some road widening passing through town on Highway 169 that connects from the Renton area out to Enumclaw. There's a large development in Black Diamond, which is between Maple Valley and Enumclaw. 10 trails are quite large, but continuing to grow, and is getting its own Safeway, elementary school. Let's pull out a video. We're right here at Whit Road. It's kind of back road that parallels 169 through town. Back here is the library, a ways ahead, but mostly just access to some of the different residential neighborhoods. Primarily a suburb, lots of different choices in age and size and corresponding cost. Houses with all the different neighborhoods that are available here. I have a series of other videos driving through the extent of quite a few of those, which I'll continue to add through and give you a little more of a look at what some of those look like. Golf course here to the right. And if we were to continue straight through the roundabout, we would connect with the north end of Maple Valley and access to Highway 18. We're going to hang right here. Over to the left is the library. Valley Museum. And off to the left over here is a nice disc golf course. And we got the Lake Wilderness Park and Lodge. There's a nice lodge facility that can be reserved. There's parking here, an arboretum area. It's usually a plant sale a couple times a year. A few 5 or 10Ks that are staged out of the Lake Wilderness Park up here. And we typically one triathlon. Park. All right, I'm going to wrap up today here at Lake Wilderness Park in Maple Valley, Washington. Great park, has swimming area with a nice dock. You can do some fishing here. There's a fishing derby in the spring. Over this direction, we've got a nice lodge area. Has different facilities. Some of them can be rented. They have classes there. Off this direction, there's another parking area, and beyond there are tennis courts, baseball field, some nice open areas, and a proper boat launch. As I mentioned on the way in, there are a few 5Ks and a triathlon that are hosted out of here. It takes advantage of the tie-in with the Cedar River Trail. Kind of runs off to that side of the lake. And so just a great resource and place to visit here in Maple Valley. Lots of similar places at the other locations that we visited today. And so hopefully this was a helpful tour, give you an idea of what the greater Eastside has to offer. If you're interested in finding out any more about any of those locations, feel free to reach out. Have a calendar scheduling link in the box below. You can also request a relocation guide that I have available. And yeah, hopefully that was helpful, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, thanks.